Hello. It's been a while since I've made a YouTube video. Ignore my hair. It's wet from the fucking shower that I took. But holy shit. Okay, it's been a long time since I've made any YouTube content, and that's mainly been because I haven't been really motivated to post anything. But I decided that I wanted to start making videos again. Some of them are going to be purely edited videos. Some of them are going to be more raw like this. I'm going to try to do reactions, but I'm only going to really react to comebacks I'm really excited for. And, you know, like, I've been excited for a bunch of comebacks, but I've never really had the need to film them. But guess what? Queens are coming back. Mamamoo's coming back, bitch. Okay? They are. This isn't a joke. This isn't a game. Look, look, hold on. Shit. Ignore this, hold on. I'm trying to get it out. They're coming back, bitch. Look at them. These queens are coming back. Like they're coming back. Don't worry, it landed somewhere safe. I didn't just throw that randomly. They're coming back, and I'm fucking scared because they're coming back with an album called Black, which is an acronym for, oh God, Bless Life and Carry Knowledge. It's an acronym for that. And I'm just, like, so scared because, like, Mamamoo, if you don't know this about Mamamoo, I don't know how you know if you're a Moo. I don't know how you don't know, but Mamamoo, they recently went on Queendom and slayed the shit out of it, by the way. They deserve to win that. If there are people out there that are literally hating on Mamamoo for winning that, I can't relate. I'm sorry. So I thought this video could just be more raw, and I could talk about what concepts Mamamoo has done so far, what I assume the concept is going to be for this comeback. Really, we have no idea until actual musical teasers come out. But I decided that when I watch the teasers, I'm not even going to react to the audio because I'm starting to get tired of audio teasers. I mean, I like looking at the concept part, but I just genuinely want to be shocked when I hear the song nowadays. So, when I start filming reactions to the teasers, which I might not always do, okay, I'm not going to always do that for any group, even my ults. Like, Mamamoo is one of my ulti groups, so I'm really excited right now. November is going to be their month. It's going to be their month. I'm calling it. I'm like, listen, Mamamoo is going to own the shit out of November. I can feel it in my gut, and they better get wins for this one, because Windflower was slept on, and I'm still mad about it, but okay. So first album, their first mini, concept was mainly kind of 40s inspired, in my opinion, just the sound and the vibe and everything. Album track list is great, but, you know, you're going to always see that. They're a lot more quirky, a lot more, you know, lighthearted, a lot more, but they had the womanly charm, too, since debut. But, like, yeah, I fucking love this album. Great era. Piano Man, more jazzy, more, you know, 20s. They had the whole fucking Piano Man outfit. I don't think you can see that. You can't see anything. It's fine. But Piano Man was jazzy. It was sassy. But it was still fun. You know, it had, like, the fun side. We get into their third mini, which had Oop and Yeah on it. This is also just fucking great in general. Like, they are queens. It was a cross-dressing concept for Yeah. And for Oop, it was more of like a 50s doo-wop sound. This album, fucking amazing. Then we had the first full-length album, which we're finally getting a second one. That's what Black is. It's a full-length album, bitch. But this was the first full-length album, and honestly, this is still one of my favorite, like, albums in K-pop. Just everything about, like, this concept was great. They had 1 centimeter taller than you, their pre-release, which was definitely more like old 90s-ish inspired hip-hop. And then they had You're the Best, which was very 70s in my opinion. It brought back the more retro side of Mamamoo. And they experimented a lot with this album. It was very like, it was just a sweet album. That's what Melting is. So, yeah. We have Memory, which, this album didn't really have a consistent theme in it because it was basically just repackaged singles. Don't fight me on this. There's rarely any songs on here. But the actual announced pre-release of this was New York, which was more, once again, kind of jazzy 20s. But they went for a more pop, it was very bubblegum pop, but this was like more of like a sultry pop, like dark, sexy concept, which I thought looked really good on Mamamoo. And they did amazing. Wrong album. Why did I grab Yellow Flower? It's Purple. Purple is the next one. Probably my least favorite Mamamoo era, to be honest. Not because of the whole women empowerment message, but to me, this era didn't make that much sense. In terms of I didn't understand the bluffing concept. I didn't really like the styling, but I still like this era. It's just my least favorite out of all of them. This one is, I'm going to get the teal version of this because when Mamamoo comes back, I'm going to try to collect some of their albums while also buying the new one. And the Purple album was all about just trying new things. And I adored that mini. It's their technically fourth mini. If you count these three, fourth mini. And yeah, it was a great era. Then they had the legendary, oh no, this was their fourth mini. This was their fifth mini. This was their sixth mini. Okay, why the heck did I disclude this one? I don't know. But this is Yellow Flower. This was the Four Seasons project that started it all. I don't like Starry Night anymore, but I really liked it when it first came out. And just, this era was so great. The styling was amazing, and it was definitely a more mature side of Mamamoo that we had never seen before. Red Moon was more spicy. Egotistic was the title. I love Egotistic. Sometimes my favorite title track is Egotistic. Sometimes it's fucking Memory. Then we have the Blue S album, which was slept on. Y'all slept on this shit. It was so good. It was more depressing, more heartbreak song kind of concept. But it was also telling you to get better day by day, which thank you, Inspirational Queens, we understand. Then we have White Wind, which, hell yeah, this album was great. It's a great start to 2019, in my opinion. I felt like it was fun and it was different than everything else coming out at the time. And so, we have, this was Latin-based. This was more kind of a Latin vibe, but this was more modern Latin pop, and this was more reggaeton. Reggaeton? Is that how you say it? I hope that's how you say it. This was more jazzy, once again, but it was more of a modern jazz type thing. This was definitely Latin, but also with a bunch of electro pop flair. And so, we have all these iconic eras sitting here with me. And so, it's like Mamamoo's done so many concepts. It's what else could they potentially do? Well, when I think of the color black, I definitely think dark concept. So I definitely think this is probably going to be their darkest concept, because the darkest we ever got from Mamamoo, in my personal opinion, was this one, Decalcomany. It's dark, it was sexy, it was sultry, but it had a little class, an element of class to it. But just, the way that, I guess Destiny also had more of a dark vibe to it, but then they made it kind of more yeehaw. It was more yeehaw energy. But that wasn't really an era. It was more of a comeback song for that show. So it doesn't really count as an era. I guess you could call it the Queendom era. The only other song that they put out this year that was like kind of a promotional song for just the group, not really collaboration or anything, was Gleam, which was for that sunglass commercial. So this year in 2019, I'm just going to be mainly talking about that. They did the more Latin electro pop kind of fun concept. They did Gleam, which was a more like it was definitely more heavily electro than I think Go Go Bebe was. It had more of like a more tropical pop kind of thing, but it wasn't like overly done, so I liked it. And then Destiny was very like country pop. Does anyone else feel that way? I guess it's because I live in the South or whatever, but it was country pop done right, okay? I don't like most country pop or country in general, but like I feel like Mamamoo put their own unique take on it and it worked. So, what I feel like is going to happen now is they're going to do something completely different than any of the other concepts they've done this year. We do know what their hair colors look like, at least for the music video and the teasers, because there's no way that they didn't film with the hair colors that they had in the final episode because the final episode was filmed a week before it came out, you know? So, Solar has this blonde, it's like dirty blonde with platinum highlights. I don't really know how to describe it because it's not fully platinum, but it's not fully dirty blonde either. It's like a mixture of the two. I don't know. But she looks so good with it. Hwasa has her short black bob again, which God bless. We got her short hair again. I mean, I love Hwasa with long hair, but since I got into Mamamoo when she had short hair, I always loved, she had long hair, but it was with extensions. I know Hwasa more for her short hair than her long hair. So I love the long hair, but I love the dark bob and like the dark makeup. That's another reason why I think it's a dark concept is because their makeup has just gotten a little bit darker, smokier, whatever. Wheein has blue hair. It wasn't noticeable at first when I first watched the episode, but when I looked at the pictures on social media of them holding the award and stuff, it's definitely blue, but it's more of a muted blue than say like Yes I Am Moonbyul's blue. Like, which looked blue when you first saw it, but I feel like Wheein's is more kind of like a jet black situation where it shines blue, but if you look at it from like an angle where the lighting doesn't shine blue on it, it looks black. I don't know, that's how I feel about Wheein's hair. And Moonbyul has purple. And I could tell the moment that she came on stage, she had purple. So, I'm wondering, I think it's a darker concept because the colors kind of look like something a darker girl group would have. I mean, like, I'm kind of shook that Wheein and Moonbyul went with more crazy colors and Hwasa and Solar went with more normal colors. I don't know. But there are a few different concepts I think they could potentially do. I'm going to go with the one that I think is the least likely until the one up till the one that's most likely. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering, but you know what I mean. Least likely to happen, most likely to happen. These are my predictions. I obviously think it's going to be a dark concept, but then you have to think, which dark concept do you think it's going to be, Allie? Well, my least likely prediction, but one that I would like to happen for Mamamoo in the future is I want them to do a sexy R&B concept because Mamamoo has had so many like good R&B songs, but they've never expanded into it in their title tracks. For example, Wheein has Moderato and Easy, which are bops, like fucking hell yeah. Wheein just owns R&B concepts. And then Mamamoo also had Rude Boy, which was fucking art. And Moonbyul had another R&B type concept, which was Love and Hate. And I loved her in that one too. I feel like black could potentially fit that color, but the reason why I think that's not going to be the sound of the song is because Mamamoo really hasn't shown any signs of doing the R&B concept with a title track. I don't know. Like, there just hasn't been a sign that they're going to do that as their concept. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But, I think that there would be signs and signals that would signal that, hey, they're doing a more R&B concept. And the only thing that's really been hinting at that, for me at least, would be some of their recent festival outfits and stuff, which look a little bit more sexy, but they still don't look like something that I would see in an R&B concept. So like, while I would be happy if it was a sexy R&B concept, I can't speak. R&B concept, I don't think that's going to be it. I don't know why, but I just don't think so. I don't think it's going to happen right now. Even though I feel like that would get them a little bit more attention in the West, I just don't think so. But then again, any of these concepts I'm about to say would get them more international attention, which I think RBW is trying to go for recently with Mamamoo. So I don't know, because Mamamoo's been getting more popular over here. And so, yeah. Second concept, which is like in the mid ground, because I'm just not sure, is maybe a rock and roll concept. Now, the only reason why I say this is because Mamamoo this year, at a lot of the award shows, and even on Queendom, they did like rock and roll versions of some of their songs, which was really nice to see. But because of that, I'm like, okay, maybe they're going to do a rock and roll concept. Because Mamamoo does like to experiment with rock and roll. They've been doing rock and roll kind of versions of their concepts since 2016 when they performed Decal Comedy rock and roll version for the first time ever. They've just been really into like making rock versions of their stuff. Hwasa has covered some rock songs like You Give Love a Bad Name, and like all these other things have happened. So I really do assume that Mamamoo is going to maybe do rock and roll in the future. I feel like rock and roll would fit the color black too, because like a lot of people associate rock and roll with like the head banging like black kind of fashion. Not like that, but you know what I mean. Like there's a lot of rock and roll t-shirts that are like black, and like a bunch of other things that are black in rock and roll. I don't know. So I feel like rock and roll could be like, it could be a darker, more like intense rock and roll concept. But I also don't think that they would go for that for some reason, because I feel like it would be very overlooked. November is a very tricky month to where if you don't have a super general public appealing sound, then it might be overlooked because of all the award shows happening and all of the like other comebacks happening that are also dark concepts in November, because the end of fall and the beginning of winter is where all the super dark concepts come in, because that's usually what winter and fall is for. And so I just don't know if going with a rock and roll kind of concept would be that great, because it could potentially be like a Blue S situation where it just didn't do well in Korea. I think in America it would do great, but in Korea I don't think it would do that great, and RBW usually considers the Korean audience in whatever they're deciding. But then again, I wouldn't be against it with knowing Mamamoo, because they went with an ambitious song like Windflower in Fall last time. Even though it kind of bombed, they still went with it and did it. And so I have no idea. But the first and most likely concept I think is going to happen is hip-hop. Mamamoo, the reason why I say this is because you can hear a lot of hip-hop influence in White Wind. White Wind, let's see. Bad Bye and My Star and fucking, like, you know, Go Go Baby even have a tiny bit of hip-hop influences. Oh my god, I can't speak. They have a tiny bit of influence from hip-hop in there. So, like, for example, like, Go Go Baby has the bass booster in some parts of the song. Bad Bye has, like, an R&B vibe, but it also has a super hip-hop vibe, especially when Moonbyul goes into it. And then My Star is just pure hip-hop. Like, it's just such a hip-hop song. It's ridiculous. So, like, because of the fact that it's been hinted at in White Wind a lot, like them having the potential to do hip-hop concepts, they've done hip-hop versions of their songs, and they even have had other hip-hop influences in this album and this album too. Not so much Blue S. Blue S was more emotional. But this album had like a pure ass hip hop track called Sleep in the Car. And this album, throughout some of, like, I would say Rude Boy has a little bit of hip hop influence in there, not a lot. But because these two have hip hop influences in there, I just feel like Mamamoo at one point is just going to go full blown hip hop. And another reason why I say that is because Mamamoo has always had that little hint that they've wanted to do a hip hop concept for a long time. Like they've hinted that they've wanted to do a hip hop concept for a long time. But it just seems like they never really had the opportunity to. And all the Mamamoo members can rap. So if they did have an opportunity to play around and do something unexpected now, it would be coming back with a concept that's not super vocal based. Because Mamamoo, throughout every single one of these albums, all their title tracks have had like the super vocal based style, you know? But they've never really gone full blown like they're not doing a bunch of amazing vocals. Because even Starry Night, which I would say has the least amount of vocals in it, still has a lot of vocal abilities. I feel like Mamamoo, if they're going to do something unexpected and that's going to shock everybody, it's going to be a hip hop concept where they don't sing. I mean, they will sing with vocals and shit, but I feel like they're going to do a lot more rapping and a lot more like sing talking because Mamamoo is already so known for their vocals that it's like all the vocal songs that come out, it's going to be like, yeah, we know their vocals are amazing, but can they do something that's more like a hip hop group? So I feel like that's the most likely thing to happen. And also, hip hop in Korea and the West, like, okay, hip hop influences in K-pop in Korea work really well. The last group to hit it really big in Korea and internationally at the same time with this super big hip hop concept that's super dark was Red Velvet with Bad Boy. That was a big success. And it was like a lot of people were saying that's one of the best comebacks of 2018. And so I feel like we've seen girl groups experiment a little bit more with hip hop, but we've never seen them fully go into it ever since Red Velvet did that comeback. So I feel like it would just make sense with the whole color concept because hip hop has a lot of black, especially like in a lot of K-pop concepts. Every time you see a girl group do a super hip hop concept, they're usually wearing full on black. Like with the color name, the fact it's a full-length album, and just the hints that I've seen at hip-hop from Mamamoo all throughout this year, and the fact that Solar has been saying rap is one of her favorite things, I think it's going to be a hip-hop concept with not a lot of vocals and more rapping, which is not something we would expect from Mamamoo. I mean, we wouldn't doubt that they could do it, but we wouldn't expect it. I think it's going to be something unexpected, but it's still going to appeal to people. And hip-hop just seems like one of those sounds right now that even Korea is starting to enjoy, and also the international fan base would gravitate towards that shit, which is what RBW is trying to do with Mamamoo lately. So I think a hip-hop concept makes the most sense. Of course, y'all can disagree with me or whatever, but that's just my opinion. I don't really have any predictions on who's going to own the era yet because I haven't had time. Well, we haven't even seen teasers yet. We just don't know, man. Will it blow up in the West? I have no idea. I think it has the potential to blow up in the West because, like I said, Mamamoo has gotten way more international attention this year. So I think that maybe this full-length album is going to show a lot of people what Mamamoo can do because it's been, like I said, since 2016... since Mamamoo has had the chance to just have a full album project. And so I feel like there's going to be a lot of experimentation in this one, but it's still going to appeal to people, you know? So, y'all can tell me your thoughts in the comments below. It's been a while since I've posted a video. I'm just going to post videos whenever I want to. I don't really care. You're probably going to see more editing videos in the future, too, because I do want to make more videos of like edits of like the K-pop idols with the fan cams and stuff. Try to do something different than just this unfiltered thing, but I had to talk about it because literally the teaser came out and I'm scared. My other prediction for this comeback is there's a potential that it's going to have 2 versions. Simply because, okay, last time we saw emphasis on like the color switching thing was this album. And this is the only Mamamoo album that's ever had 2 versions. And it had the teal and the purple switch up. So like it switched up between the purple and the teal color. So I have a feeling that because it's switching from like black and white to white and black, it's gonna have 2 versions. I know a lot of people are probably gonna be upset by that or something, but like, you know, that's a good way to get more album sales, and this is still Mamamoo's best-selling album in a day. Still one of Mamamoo's best-selling physical albums, probably because it had 2 versions. So it might be a smart move to do this time. My wallet's just gonna cry. So I don't know. What are y'all's predictions? What do you think about my thoughts? Do you think any of these concepts that I threw out would be interesting to see? Different to see? Which ones do you agree with? Which ones do you not? And let's just be fucking scared, okay? Because it's happening. It's happening. They're coming back. I'm scared. I feel like it's gonna be something completely different, and I'm scared. But yeah, I am gonna return to YouTube with some videos every now and then. I'm sorry it took so long, but I just haven't been motivated. But this, for some reason, this teaser with the Bless Life and I don't know the motto yet. I have to get the motto memorized into my head. It just came out like an hour ago, okay? So, yeah. I love you guys. Thank you for watching this video. I will probably react to the teasers if they come out on days that I'm off. But, you know, like, I'm not going to react to the audio part of it. So I'm going to go into it completely blind for once. And so, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy. Well, I might react to the audio. I don't know, man. I don't know yet. I'll have to see, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, if you want to subscribe, you can. I'm not going to force you to. And, see you later. Bye-bye.